I think we should all carry around a song in our head and just dance to it randomly. You just get in there, man, and whatever the song is, just be like, "This is my song. I'm finna dance to it." Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to a super late edition. I'll see you in the morning. I tried to level the scale this morning. There's a lot of people who said that they didn't know how to win the medals and they weren't prepared, so they wanted to be, a champion and hadn't had a chance to do it yet. So I kind of evened it out a little bit, started a little bit late, but it seems to be the same people still winning the gold medals and stuff. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Gold medal winner today, Miss Patricia Pippen. Welcome, Patricia, with the gold medal. Coming in with the silvers, Kim ate a lot of Kit Kats as a kid. Thomas Jones. And coming in third place, Crystal Sex Appeal. That's what you got. You got to come up with the nicknames for it. Honorable mention, Lynette Smith, Lisa Bazemore right in there, and Elvira, I'm Not a Vampire, Johnson Williams. So good morning, everybody. How's everybody on this Friday? Friday's the end of the week. We made it through, is what people will say. People will always be excited about making it to the weekend. We overlook the week trying to get to the weekend. That's what we do. It seems as though we overlook the week trying to get to the weekend. Sometimes we fail to enjoy the whole week because we're trying to get to the weekend. We got to do better. We got to do a little bit better. Calvin Hill in the building. I'll be with Calvin Hill on tomorrow doing an event for him, man. I really look forward to doing that. But look at you. Look, Lynette Smith, so excited about Friday that she's talking in Atlanta. That's how they say yes in Atlanta. I don't even think you're allowed to just say a regular yes in Atlanta. I think if somebody asks you something and you answer in the affirmative, you have to add at least 12 S's to the end, and you replace the E with an A. You replace the E with the A. That's just how they do it. Just how they do it. J.D. King, no relation to Martin Luther, but we can still call her JDK. Good morning. We got a lot going on, man. Next week is Martin Luther the King Day, so a lot of people are going into a 3-day weekend. Martin Luther the King Day. Love the fact. Here's what's most important to me. Here's what's amazing to me about Martin Luther the King Day. Martin Luther the King Day. This is how powerful Martin Luther the King Day is to me. Even racists celebrate Martin Luther King Day. They forced to. It's a government holiday. I ain't seen not one Klan member go to work because it's Martin Luther King Day. They are forced to be off work because of a Negro. I think it's amazing. I think that Martin Luther King fought and marched all these times just to get in a situation to make those people who really detest him, hate him personally, have to celebrate him. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. Now, I think a lot of times we don't respect Martin Luther King for the visionary and amazing person he was. He did all that marching in hard bottoms. Let's think this thing through, people. Let's think about how revolutionary you really are. Because a lot of us say that we down for the struggle. A lot of us say we would have been there. A lot of people today want to march and do stuff, but they had it different back then. Martin Luther King ain't had no sweatsuits. Go back and watch. Go back and watch all the marches that Martin Luther King was in. He ain't had no sweatsuit. He ain't had no Nikes. He ain't had nothing comfortable for his feet. That's one thing that I think are true visionaries, are real prophets, are real people who really work for the people. We need to pray for their feet. If we really think about it, Jesus L. Christ, Jesus Leroy Christ the first, he ain't never had no solid footwork. Sandals. Man, if you go back and look, see, a lot of people don't want to look at what that man walked through Africa in sandals. No paved roads, no nothing. Sandals. Jesus hit the scene in sandals. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, if I was Jesus L. Christ, I wouldn't have walked for y'all. Not no sandals. Jesus' feet had to be terrible. And I don't even know if there were Asians at that time, so I don't even know if he was able to get a pedicure, get his feet worked on. Jesus L. Christ walked, him and the disciples walked for you in sandals. That man walked to his death in a pair of sandals. And I may even venture to say when he had to carry the cross, he might have did that barefooted. There's no way. Pray for that man's feet. Pray for the feet of Jesus Christ. And then you move on again until the 1960s and stuff. Martin Luther King was out there marching and Stacey Adams. Now, ladies, here's the thing. Y'all always talk about how a pair of heels hurts the feet of a woman. Stacey Adams is the most non-forgiving shoe a man can ever wear. And then when you get a certain age, you long for them. It's something in your DNA as a black man that when you start to get a certain age, you long for a pair of Stacey Adams. I got some Stacey's in my closet right now. You long for a pair of Stacey Adams. It's the most unforgiving shoe you will ever put on your feet. Stacey Adams is like they take the leather and harden the leather. What's going on, Dennis? They harden the leather that you wear in a pair of Stacey Adams. Stacey Adams ain't gonna bend, they not gonna crease. Your foot'll never be able to do this here. You ain't gonna get no kind of flexion in you. Your foot is right there. And Martin Luther the King walked in those. The bottom of Stacey Adams is made out of pure tree bark. There's no flexation, no nothing. And you put those on and you walk through Selma, Alabama. And the roads in Alabama are harder because of the racism. If you think about it, the most racist states have harder roads. So you was walking through all those southern states in a pair of dress shoes and a suit. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. Give it up for Martin Luther King. Just off of that, and I know a lot of people walked with him, and I'm sure Rosa Parks was marching right beside him in a pair of kitten heels. But the thing about it was, I believe that they had it a little easier if they walked in the kitten heels than they did in those Stacey Adams. And I really think a lot in that time, a lot of those ladies were nurses and professional women, so they knew how to put on a comfortable shoe. I'd rather walk in those nursing shoes than I would a pair of Stacey Adams. Tennis shoes overall are more comfortable than Stacey Adams, unless it's a pair of Chuck Taylors. The Chuck Taylor Converse, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you why they so cheap. Because they don't spend any money putting a sole on that shoe. The Chuck Taylor Converse, if you like the Chuck Taylor, a pair of Chucks always works out. The Chucks are an inexpensive alternative to shoes. You can always slap on a pair of Chucks and be fine. You can even wear them with your suit now. You put on a suit, tuxedo. I see people get married all the time in a pair of Chucks. The Chuck Taylors are beautiful, but the only thing about the Chuck Taylor is they save money by not putting any sole on the bottom of that shoe. That Chuck Taylor is really just shoe colored wrapping paper. All you doing is really just a thicker sock. That's all the Chuck Taylor is. It's just a thick sock. Because you're not getting any kind of protection on Chuck Taylors. You step on a nail in a pair of Chuck Taylors, that nail going all the way up to your knee. Listen, Chuck Taylors ain't got nothing in there. You got to buy you some Dr. Scholl's if you go wear those Chucks. You got to. And it's crazy because I think Chuck Taylor was a thin white man. And so that's what they made a shoe. Let's go and let's research who Chuck Taylor was. I don't even know how he wasn't one of those famous basketball players. Maybe he's just the guy that designed the shoe. But who is Chuck? No, he was an American basketball player. Chuck Taylor. Let's get an image of Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor was so unfamous that you can't even get a picture of him. You get a picture of all shoes before you find him. Yep, a thin white man, Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor. We'll share it through. I could share it through. There's Chuck Taylor for you. So you know he ain't really had no vertical leap or nothing. He wasn't getting off the ground. Chuck Taylor didn't need he didn't need anything on his feet. He was a thin white man, so he made him a thin shoe. This right here, let me tell y'all something. This is the image of the NBA they don't like to show you. This is what the NBA used to be. This is what the NBA used to be. Nothing but white players. The Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics epitomize and encapsulate whiteness. There's nothing whiter than the Boston Celtics, ever. Even Driven Snow isn't as white as the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics are the whitest franchise in the history of all sports. They were even white. They took whiteness to a whole new level. They took whiteness to levels no one has ever reached. Boston Celtics, Apollo Legends. Apollo Legends. Now we got the weekend coming up, man. I don't know what people have planned for the weekend. This is good. A lot of people have 3-day weekends. These are the ones we really got to embrace. These are the weekends you got to embrace. You got to embrace your 3-day weekends. We don't get a whole lot of them. I think after today, we don't run into a 3-day weekend for a while. For a while. This is the best weekend in January. You get it, you get in there, you get yourself together, your year started. It's a way to just go ahead and re-energize and replan your whole thing. 3-day weekends are the best because you can really waste a day. That Sunday and a 3-day weekend is a wasted day. Oh, we throw that day away. That's the day you're supposed to throw away. You're supposed to nap and hunch all Sunday. And it don't matter where you do your napping and hunching. You're supposed to nap and hunch all Sunday because it's a waste day. That day is all for excess and wasting days. That's it. You supposed to nap and hunch on Sunday. And it don't matter where you do it. Even if you go to church, still maintain your napping and hunching. If you go to church, do one of those two while you in church. I mean, personally, I wouldn't recommend the hunching. But you can go ahead and nap it up. That's what I do. I've always been consistent in my napping. I am. I always sleep during church. This is what I do. First of all, you're making me sit still. If anybody knows anything about me, this is a little known secret. I may or may not be narcoleptic, but I do know if you make me sit still, I'm going to sleep. If you just make me sit down and be still, if you play that piece, be still on me, I'm going to sleep. I am consistently going to, and it don't matter what's going on. The spirit can be high, the pastor can be preaching and whooping and doing all he can. That sleep gonna come up on me. It's gonna come up. If I don't move, if I don't get up, walk around something, that sleep gonna jump up on me. But I stayed consistent with it. Even during the pandemic, when we had to go and do church from home on the computers, I made sure I slept during that church too, just so my pastor wouldn't feel like it was him. I slept during that too, napping and hunching. Napping and hunching. That's what you got to do on an off day like that. Nap and hunch. I'm gonna get me a shirt and say nap and hunch. Not Captain Crunch. Nap and hunch. Nap and hunch. Now, see, Marche, people always talk about bedside Baptists, and and I had a joke that I used to do about bedside Baptists, and I don't do it anymore, but it's one of my favorite jokes. Is that bedside Baptist is really God's chosen church. I don't really think God intended us for us to go to these church buildings. I really think bedside Baptist is where God intended us to go to church. A lot of people don't believe me when I say it, but you're supposed to be at bedside Baptist. And I know there's some biblical scholars in here that may not agree with me, but I don't think we're supposed to be in the church building. I think we're supposed to be at bedside Baptist. If you actually read the Bible, we were created for bedside Baptist. And I know y'all saying to yourself, how do you get this information? Where in the Bible are you finding this? It's quite simple in the Bible. It says, He maketh me to lie down. See there? That's it. He maketh me to lie down. That right there is a nap. Y'all say, you know what? That can't be it. You misusing the Bible. You not taking the Bible in the way that it's supposed to go. When he says he maketh me, I was designed. God designed me. He maketh me to lie down. And you say to yourself, that can't be right, Cletus. That's you. You misrepresent the Bible, right? Well, let's go back. Let's go further on. When Jesus died, what did he say? I will send you back a comforter. That is for napping. That is a nap. That is lying down with a comforter is a nap. Bedside Baptist. It's official. Y'all don't take the time to read the Bible. You got to read the Bible for yourself. You got to read the Bible for yourself. A lot of people won't read it. The people won't read the book, but all the answers are right there in the book. The Bible is the only book that got everything in it. That's why it's the top selling book in the world every year. The Bible's the only book that got everything. No matter what you want in there, the Bible got it. You want superheroes? There go Jesus. You got whores. You got scandals. You got menage thousands. Cause Solomon had many wives. Many. You got everything in there. You got sexual scandals. There's all kinds of sex in the Bible. Ladies, y'all don't need to go get them romance novels that y'all like to read, that y'all reading for the literary value. We all know y'all not reading them for the literary value because they got you pumping and sweating. They got you ready to hunch. They got you ready to hunt. That's what it is. That's all hunching material. That's what fellas, you don't let your wife get hold of them romance novels. Your wife get hold of a romance novel, she's gonna change your life. That's a pre-hunch. That's her pre-hunch warm-up. She's gonna read that Bible, she's gonna read that book. She's gonna go in there, open it up, and John unsheathed his glowing sword, and I seen it in the light, and all of that. You don't need all of that. Zane, that Zane book, Zane. And here's the thing, fellas. And I didn't want to have to go here, but I'm gonna have to. Tell anybody, man, this show has no direction. We just get on here and I just talk. Y'all keep letting these guys come in here, the Eric Jerome Dickens and the Zane, and they write these romance novels, and they all in there in they little book clubs and reading them, and they all hot and bothered. And them guys don't even like women. It's crazy. And them guys, well, maybe Zane likes women. I don't know what Zane is. Y'all gonna have to explain to me if Zane is a man or a woman. But I know Eric Jerome Dick is a lady. And it's hard growing up with the last name Dickey and not and stay straight. That's just a hard thing to do as a man. If that's your last name, you just be like, well, I gotta, I'm gonna see. I can accept it from Zane. Zane being a woman, she's writing from a woman's perspective. I don't know where Eric Jerome Dick is coming from. Zane could be either an author or wrestler. You just really don't know. And because she writes romance novels, she's probably wrestling in a lot of her novels. Eric Jerome Dickey, though, he's also both Zane and Eric Jerome Dickey are ladies. I got it. I just think I would change my last name because children are cruel. Children are cruel. If you grow up and your last name is Dickey, you can't do it. You're not gonna do it. Now I would go, and here's the thing. And here's the other problem Eric Jerome Dick had. You got to throw that J in there because if not, then his initials are ED. So you can't have a man whose last name is Dickey and have the initials of ED. It's all set up. The jokes write themselves. The jokes write themselves. My last name is Dickey and my initials are ED. The jokes write themselves. But you go in there, fellas. Don't let women listen. Women are the nastier of the two. Today's Friday is just about truths. If you got your children watching, you're just gonna have to let them know that these are pure facts. Women are way nastier than men. Romance novels are set up for the woman and men from Atlanta. That's what romance novels. We don't have any romance novels. You ain't never seen one of your homeboys. You ain't never seen a group of guys get together and be like, "What we reading today? Oh, we reading that new Eric Jerome Dickens." That ain't what men do. Men don't have those. Women have those because women are nastier than men. Men don't have those fun parties, is what the ladies call it. That's a woman thing. You ain't seen three guys get together be like, "Hey man, guess what I'm selling now? I'm selling pure romance products." It just don't happen. It's not. You tell ladies, y'all know men. Show me the time that your husband went out. Hey man, where you going? Going to a romance party real quick. I'll be back. It just doesn't happen. It's just not for us. That's when you know you own to something. The internet will shut you down. That's when you know you own to something. The internet got me. That's how I know I'm on to something. I'm hitting on. They don't want you to hear the truth. Y'all, they don't want me to tell the truth. I'm finna get out of here, man. It is about that time for me to go and be productive on a Friday. Got a lot of things to do on today. Got to go get my mane and tail trimmed up a little bit. Y'all don't know how hard it is to have this luxurious beard. Look at James. We ain't trying products together. Men ain't even admitting that they got products. Tell them, James, you ain't never seen men go to a Viagra party. We look like a group of men sitting together. You know, say, hey man, try this Viagra, man. We just wait around 45 minutes and you tell me you're not excited about it. Huh? Look at that. Look at how you feeling. You don't think Margaret will enjoy that? You don't think Margaret's gonna enjoy that? Come on, man. I got you, dog. These are the products that I'm using. This is what I use. You tell me your wife ain't gonna, you go home and you tell your, he just ain't do it. He can't do it. Fellas ain't gonna sit there and look at each other do that kind of stuff. Guy ain't gonna come in and be like, hey man, I've been having problems in my nether regions and I'm just trying to figure out something to make it a little more spicy, you know. My man be like, I can't get to my wife all the time, man. You can give me some tools that I can use that that I can bring my enjoyment to a higher level even while at work. Ain't no man going in for that. Ain't no man going in there for that. And I'm like, hey man, we got these jams and jellies you can use. Let me see one of those, Charles. Go right ahead, man. This is a sample bottle. Go ahead, put some of that on, man. Tell me how it feels. No, man, I wish. I mean, I don't wish. I'm just saying. I'm saying it in the black connotation of I wish. Is black people when they wish for something, they actually don't want it to happen. We different. We reverse Disney. When a black person wishes for something, they don't want it to happen. That's how we wish. We wish in reverse. A black wish is the opposite. There you go. Look at James. Women pouring all stuff all over each other. A man ain't with it. We not. We not finna let it happen. We not finna let it happen. Just letting y'all know, women nasty. It just as a general rule. In general rule, y'all nasty, and it's okay. It's all right because that's good for Sundays when you got to sit around. That's good for the Sunday on a 3-day weekend when you should be watching some TV, napping and hunching. That's it. That's it. 3 things: nap and hunch, watch a little TV. I'm getting ready to get out of here, man. Listen, it is Friday, man. I hope everybody's gonna have a fantastic weekend. I can't make you have a good weekend, but I really feel like you should. Like I can't force a solid weekend on you, but I know that it's possible in you. I want y'all to start going and getting yourselves together and just really, really just embracing life a little bit. I think I started doing this particular podcast, or I don't know if it's a podcast, I don't know if it's a morning show, I don't know what it is, but I started doing this particular thing really to help myself out, to get out, to express some of the things that are going on, like a daily little kind of a diary. Like this is what's on my mind today. I was going pure brandy. I was like, dear diary. That was me. Right. But then people started getting inspired and people calling me. Like I've even had people tell me, man, this is what my wife and I do. We sit and watch this. This is our quality time together. We watch you rant. And I was like, man, y'all need therapy. But it was great that they decided to use me. I was like, maybe they don't have cable. So this is what they do. So we got to start embracing life a little bit more, man. I really believe it, and I really want everybody to do it. I think that we can each play a little part in everybody's life. Like this is my small part of even helping me and helping everybody else that watches, like giving you just a few moments of levity during your day. Because some people getting ready to go work in hell. Like they really are. Like people may not realize, but you got people who literally work on the 3rd floor here in returns. Because I don't think there's a place to work worse than the return department. It's people who work in hell in returns and restock. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be like, man, let me give you just a moment so that you feel better with it. Some people have a hard, long day, all day longer, than they come back in and they like, man, this show really helped me out. This really worked for me. This is just a moment that I needed after I got off of a hard day at work. It's crazy. Can you imagine how prostitutes feel at the end of a day of work? You talking about getting screwed on the job. So they come in and they watch my show and they feel better, you know? And that's what I'm here for. I want us to start embracing life, man. We don't give but one of them, man. And sometimes we spend so much time not even realizing how great we got it, how amazing things are, that we miss out on it because we get caught up in the minutia of a day. So listen, it's Friday. Go out there and embrace this Friday, man. Have a good time. Don't even just look forward to getting off of work. Just take the moment to enjoy while you there. Enjoy all of those moments, man. And every single one of them that we get, try to find some kind of joy in it. Even in our bad news and our hard times, man, try to find a little bit of joy in it. And I think we can all add to the overall joy of everybody that we come in contact with. Everybody just go in there a little bit, man. Just go in today and just say good morning to people. Go in this morning when you get to work, man. Good morning, good afternoon, man. Say something nice to somebody when you go order your food. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Do any of those little things, man. Anything. Just to help make somebody else's day a little bit better. I think we can do it, man. If we start collectively adding to the joy, man, if we take that whole thing, man, and we have a group mentality, we have a ball of joy, and everybody has to go in and add into the balls. Add to the balls, people. Get in there, man. Make the ball bigger. Add on into it. Put your little bit, man. Your little bit is gonna help a little bit overall, man. And we'll make all this whole world a little bit of a better place, man. So have a great weekend. I'm gonna do my very best to see y'all again on Monday. I might be a little sharp dressed on Monday because I gotta go out and march for Martin Luther the King on Monday. So that's gonna be exciting when I do the show. So I might actually be on time with the show. But even if I'm not, man, I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and pause so that it don't just cut off on people. I'm gonna pause in about 3 seconds. I'm telling y'all that's what's gonna happen. All right, and then 1, 2, 3, pause, repause. When they asked the dog, "What does he walk on?" He said, "Pause, peace, pause."